Hey everybody, hope you all doing alright. So we're gonna go ahead and just start this book here, Teaching for Survival by a Mark Terry. A foreword by Garrett. Um, I'm not sure what that dude's other name is. Garrett. What is your last name? Garrett Hardin. There it is. All right. Foreword by Garrett Hardin. All right. To the mountain lupine after a light rain. That sounds nice. Alright, let's do some acknowledgments. I would like to thank David Brower for being there and for listening to the spring of listening in the spring, of 1969 at the University of Washington. The continuing report and encouragement given me, by Dave, Dr. Garrett Hardin, Percy Knowlton, and Ian Ballantyne, excuse me if I mispronounced anything, have made teaching for survival possible. Teachers teaching in ecology have made a great deal more sense to me as a result of my contact with Walt Brottingen of Cornell University's Division of Science and Environmental Education. I would like to thank Walt, Dr. Anne Dr. Anne Labastille, sorry if I mispronounced anything, also of Cornell, and Gray and Joyce Pedersen for reading parts of the manuscript. Thanks also to my mother and father for many things, in particular for choosing to live on the lake in sight of the mountain. To my brother for helping fill my environmental files. To Garth McDonald for spending a day in Connecticut with the title to Cynthia, Rick, Sinclair, Nick, Chris, Martha, Majors, and Nancy for sharing with me a year of biology while this book was brewing. And to Kathy for staying with the book since before either of us knew there was to be a book. Sorry, just there's one part here that didn't make sense. To Garth McDonald for spending a day in Connecticut with the title. Okay, I guess it took him a day in Connecticut to get the title. Interesting writer. Alright. Forward. Again by Garrett Hardin. A century after the word ecology was coined in subject matter became... Let me try it again. A century after the word ecology was coined, its subject matter became suddenly fashionable. See, I would have put a comma there, I think. Sudden popularity is always dangerous. Ecology now... Wait, hold on. Sudden popularity is always dangerous? There is an inherent danger, but to say it's always is a bit... I don't know. It doesn't feel quite right. Ecology now runs the risk of being suffocated by its friends. Well-meaning friends, it is true, but ones who are all too often ill-informed and generally poorly disciplined. The Earth Day of... Are they really that good of friends, then? I don't know, strange. I didn't really know much about this book, but I want to tell you guys. I found it right outside my house, so I was like, okay, maybe it's something I'm supposed to read. But I really don't know much of what it's about, other than it's getting into education, ecology classes, and making changes, which is I'm about. But I really don't know what type of changes. So this is a mystery for me too that we're unraveling here. All right, let's continue on. The Earth Day of the 22nd April 1970 was in too many places paradoxically celebrated by an orgy of environmental littering. In the name of environment. Okay, the ratio of emotion to analysis in the celebration was perilously high. Emotion is not wholly bad. In fact, we need a bit of it to get our engines of reform going. But it is doubtful if we should encourage the emotion of hatred of the establishment or of anything else. Well, I actually agree with that. We should always keep in mind the very real danger that we may become that which we hate. That's very true. Okay, so now I'm starting to warm up to this. It is not hatred that we need now, but persistent determination based on understanding. Persistent determination based... that word understanding I have a little bit of an issue with, but comprehension and knowledge, yeah, I agree with. Those who are in a position to teach and to lead others to learn and act can hardly find a better guide to environmental action than this richly detailed discussion by Mark Terry. Excuse me. This talented young teacher has modified the old saying, charity begins at home. All right, I like that too. To read ecology begins at home. Do not, he warns, set out to clean up the entire world at one fell swoop. You will certainly fail and be disillusioned. Well, I get what he's saying, but you can actually do it from a stepping stone process, and you can actually do it, because what I'm doing is proof that you can. But I get what he's saying. Trying to start from that spot can be extremely fucking overwhelming. But there is a way to do it, actually. It's just most people just didn't fucking put in enough determination to fucking figure it out. But it is possible, because I'm fucking proof of that. Anyway, let's just continue on. Do not. Oh, yeah, we already read that. Okay, so yeah, you will certainly fail and become disillusioned. Okay, anyway, moving on here. Instead, look around you. But I agree with that. You can do both in tandem, is what I've found. Open your ecological eyes, and you will see countless instances of environmental maleficence taking place right in your own backyard. Absolutely true, and I agree. We need to take care of fucking here as well as out there. Some of the crimes will be delightfully easy to correct. That's interesting. Crimes. Wow, he's got an interesting word choice. Well, when you think about it, littering is, from the perspective of like divine law with Mother Nature and stuff, that is like breaking a law or committing a crime. Because it's a transgression against divine order. Like, you shouldn't be throwing toxic chemicals on a beautiful patch of Mother Earth. Like, that's wrong to do, really. All right, moving on here. Because that literally will destroy other life forms and your fucking your home, like your habitat, where you get all your food and all your sustenance. Like, you're destroying that what you get that keeps you alive. So that's the energetic reason why, like the scientific reason why it's bad. I mean, then also just that's what gives the morality of everything its merit and its value, is because it actually is in place to keep things from becoming in balance. So, all right. So by tackling these first, you will build up your political self-confidence and thus ready yourself for tackling larger issues with an improved prospect of winning. It is not martyrdom, but success that strengthens the will and quickens the reflexes. See, but like he's just being kind of biased. Like, martyrdom can do its own thing. I'm not a proponent of it, but it has its place. It's like, just as it is not martyrdom, but success that strengthens the will and quickens the reflexes. But there's even martyrdom that can come. There's success that can come from martyrdom. So like, there's ways of doing things. He's a little bit black and white is what I'm picking up on right now. But let's see how this pans out. To read Teaching for Survival, word by word, is to become irreversibly sensitized to one's immediate surroundings. The principal function of every artist is to make us see the world that was always there, but which we were blindly unaware of until we opened our eyes. That's just a very audacious thing, an arrogant thing for anybody to say. Like, how do you know? How would anybody know what every artist is thinking? Like, it's just very presumptuous. The principal function of every artist is to make us see the world that was always there, but which we were blindly unaware of until we opened our eyes. First of all, it's not even a matter of opening our eyes. It's a matter of where we're choosing to point our eyes. And it's, just strange. Anyway, all right, moving on. The artist creates that which has always existed. There's truth to that, but then again, like, until you actually take the time to create an art piece, like, it technically doesn't quite exist, because in order for it to exist, it has to have a form, like, so until it's put into form, it is theoretically just an idea, and until you've even thought of the idea, like, does that idea exist? But then I can see what he's saying. In some sense, everything does always exist, and it's a matter of us moving things in the right places to bring it into a tangible physical reality. But what he's essentially saying is that even before it was turned into a piece of art, it existed in the ethers as a thought form. So he's got something to say, but I don't know. It's a little weird. I just feel like he's trying to push a little bit of his own, like, figuring out type shit. It just feels like I can feel a little bit of his arrogance, maybe a little too heavily imbued in his content, to the point where it's, in my opinion, kind of overshadowing and even overwhelming the truth and the meaning that I'd rather focus on, rather than my own ability to use words and to present an idea that is so uniquely mine. I'm trying to get away from that because it's just very egotistically based, and that's really not what the world needs now. The world really needs more of like selflessness. So anyway, but I like the way this dude writes. It's interesting. All right, so the artist, okay, Mark Terry is such an artist. Mark Terry is such an artist. Well, you just said that all artists are that. So, like, I mean, just by him being an artist would inherently make him like that. So it's really redundant saying that. Just from me, just my opinion. But one working in a new medium environment, I'm just kind of cracking up myself. All right. But one working in a new medium, environmental awareness. All right, so Mark Terry is such an artist, but one working in a new medium, environmental awareness, period. It's a weird place to put a period. Like, to me, it is. When an appreciable fraction of our population has had its eyes opened to this new vision, the world will never be the same. Let us hope this happens soon. Okay, interesting. All right, and this will be the beginning of Teaching for Survival, and I'll probably share this with you guys later. All right, love y'all. Take care. Bye.